February is Black History Month. Carter G. Woodson, known to many as the father of Black history, came up with the concept of Negro History Week in 1926, intended to both create and popularize the knowledge about the Black past. Carter G. Woodson started his, Black father of Black history. He's called the father of Black history. He had Negro History Week. It's gone on and grown and everything. But I want you to hear this part here. It wasn't until 1976 that Woodson's organization was able to use its influence to institutionalize the shifts from a week to a month and from Negro history to Black history. Now this is the most important part I want you to hear. Since President Gerald Ford signed the first proclamation in 1976, every American president has issued proclamations endorsing the theme set forth by the Association for the Study of African American Life and History. Now I'm going to go back. Diversity, equity, and inclusion in EEO. Do you think that Black History Month is safe under this president at this time? Do you? Well, let me give you something else. And I appreciate this, James Battle. I know you sent it to me, but I had already had it. But I told you I was going to talk about it this morning. But great minds think alike. I seen this article late yesterday. And it says, obeying Trump's order. Hold on, before I get into that, let's talk about Jacqueline Days. About it. MLK and Juneteenth as federal holidays will be a thing of the past. Black History Month will no longer exist. So y'all see where I'm going, right? Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Obeying Trump's order, the Air Force, the United States Air Force, the service that I served in for 21 and a half honorable years, will stop teaching recruits about the Tuskegee Airmen. The United States Air Force will stop teaching recruits about the greatness. Let me put the greatness of the Tuskegee Airmen. A video of the pioneering Black pilots famed for their World War II exploits was stripped from an Air Force basic training curriculum at Joint Base San Antonio, Lackland. That's what I said. I said more. Wow was the first thing. Then I said a whole lot after that. And let me say this. Well, let me read this first. President Donald Trump signed a flurry of executive orders this week, including one banning diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts across the federal government. President Donald Trump's assault on federal diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives has claimed a new victim, the Tuskegee Airmen. The Trump, in his inaugural address on Monday, vowed to end the government policy of trying to socially engineer race and gender into every aspect of public and private life. The same day, he signed an executive order dismantling federal DEI programs. On Tuesday, the new administration placed DEI officials on leave and ordered agencies to spike postings or advertisements promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion. The effects were felt almost immediately. The memo said a video on the Tuskegee Airmen, a second video titled Breaking Barriers, and a third about the women Air Force service pilots who supported the war effort during World War II had been excised from a course on air-mindedness. A video on diversity was stripped from a separate human relations course. The memo said it was addressed to ALCON, military jargon for all concerned. The 37 Training Wing, which oversees basic and technical instruction in Lackland, had no comment. And an Air Force official who didn't want to be identified said this. He answered this by email. We are ensuring we implement all directives outlined in the executive orders issued by the president and are currently doing a thorough review of applicable curriculum. We will provide status updates on curriculum changes as soon as we are able. Every year, more than 35,000 recruits go through Air Force Base training at Lackland Air Force Base. For years, the 7.5-week regimen of weapons training, calisthenics, and classroom learning has included instruction on the Tuskegee Airmen and how the pioneering black pilots played a vital role in the Allied war effort. No more. No new recruits going through Lackland for basic training in the Air Force will hear or know anything about the Tuskegee Airmen. And I've said this on here before. I've met some of the Tuskegee Airmen in my time. When we have to go, when we do our leadership schools and they call it PFE, PME, professional military education schools. And they would have them there and they would come and, sit at the tables with us and we'd be able to speak to them. And I've been to, I think, 3 different schools where they were there, they came and we were able to sit and talk to them. And one of the biggest things I regret is not taking a picture of my time being spent with them, because I'm not a real picture guy. Let's just be real. But I don't say regret, because I don't use regrets. I missed the opportunity to have a keepsake of what these brave men did for me and those that look like me that served in the Air Force, where we could walk around with pride knowing that we contributed to anything that went on to defend this country. That one was a hard pill to swallow for me, because those men, most of them, there's not many left. Let's just be real. There's not many of them left. So we're about, as they've died, now the whole history of what they did to defend this country is being wiped away, all because of DEI and the removal of the EEO that Lyndon B. Johnson signed in 1965. Now, I don't know about you, but I do know that growing up in school, I didn't hear a lot about our accomplishments in this country. One here, one there, and everything like that. But when I joined the military and I learned about the Tuskegee Airmen, it made me swell up with pride knowing that people that looked like me did something like that. And to know that they're erasing that today hits hard. Oh, it hits hard. Because it's not, and here's the thing that I want people to understand. What the Tuskegee Airmen did was not Black history. It was history. And for them to allow this man and to be okay with this man eliminating that history from the books should let you know everything you need to know when I started off this show and said, we got work to do in this season. Because if they'll erase the greatness of what they did, be prepared. Trent Branch, they're trying to erase Black history from everything aspect of our lives. James Battle, they shouldn't teach any Air Force history if they can't teach all of it. I met people in basic training that had never heard of Tuskegee Airmen. They were happy to learn about it. Michelle Long, good morning, Rodney. There's absolutely nothing is safe as long as Trump is in office, as we have been seen in the past 6 miserable days in office. Michelle Long, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. Yes. This is where, y'all forgive me, man. I'm a little, when I read this yesterday, it upset me. But the more I think about this with the Tuskegee Airmen, there's a lump in my throat.